A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development for Germany's military landscape, the Bundestag has approved a new model for military service that mandates the screening of all 18-year-old men for their suitability to serve in the armed forces, starting January 1st. This decision comes at a time when the country is facing increased pressure to bolster its military capabilities in light of rising geopolitical tensions, particularly with Russia. However, the proposal has sparked widespread protests among young people and students, who are voicing their opposition to what they perceive as a move towards conscription. Thousands of school pupils participated in climate protest-style demonstrations across 90 towns and cities, missing classes to express their dissent against the legislation. Alicia, a 17-year-old protester from Kreuzberg, Berlin, articulated the sentiments of many, stating, "I'm striking against conscription and in opposition to the rearmament that's taking place, not least as I don't think the government is doing enough to secure peace through diplomatic means." The defense minister, Boris Pistorius, addressed the Bundestag, emphasizing the necessity of this new law to enhance Germany's defense capabilities. He highlighted that allies are looking to Germany for leadership in European defense, and that the country must be prepared to defend itself. The law was passed with a vote of 323 in favor and 272 against, with one abstention. Notably, the proposal does not reintroduce conscription, which some conservative politicians had advocated for. Instead, the screening process will assess the fitness of young men for military service without mandating their enlistment. The defense minister noted that if the new model fails to attract enough recruits, Parliament may need to revisit the idea of conscription. Critics of the law, including members of the far-left Die Linke and the far-right AfD, have raised concerns about the implications of mandatory screenings. Desiree Backer from Die Linke argued that the process is anything but voluntary, as it requires all 18-year-olds to fill out a questionnaire regarding their potential military service. She urged young people to stand against the law, stating, "Young people have other plans than risking their lives for the rich." The AfD's Rudiger Lucassen criticized the government's strategy of offering financial incentives to attract recruits, suggesting that a sense of nationalism should be the driving force behind military service. This sentiment has been met with backlash, as critics point out the problematic historical context of such nationalism in Germany. The recent legislative changes come at a critical time as Germany seeks to modernize its military after years of underfunding and neglect. The government has committed substantial resources to improve military equipment and is now focused on increasing recruitment numbers. Currently, Germany has around 182,000 active soldiers and just under 50,000 reservists, far below the target of 460,000 personnel that includes both active and reserve forces. The government aims to raise the number of active soldiers to 260,000 and double the number of reservists over the next decade. The approved plan also includes provisions for mandatory medical checks for young men, further emphasizing the government's commitment to enhancing military readiness. While the proposal stops short of reintroducing conscription, it does leave the door open for potential mandatory service if necessary, particularly in response to changing defense policy situations. The political landscape surrounding military service in Germany remains contentious, with ongoing debates about the balance between voluntary service and the potential need for conscription. The recent protests by young people highlight a growing divide between the government's objectives and the sentiments of the youth, who are increasingly concerned about their futures in the context of military service. As the situation unfolds, it remains to be seen how the government will address these concerns while striving to meet its military recruitment goals. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.